We're going to turn to Israel, where U.S. arms shipments are in process. Israeli leaders say the Biden administration has confirmed that it's not holding up any weapons.
Meanwhile, Hezbollah's leader is promising a fight, quote, without rules if Israel declares an all-out war on the terrorist army. CBN's Paul Strand has more from Jerusalem.
The Israeli government says it's received assurances from the U.S. that there is no holdup in weapon shipments. Earlier this week, Prime Minister Netanyahu said the U.S. is withholding the arms it needs to fight. Wednesday, a post on a social media page for the Prime Minister's office said the U.S. ambassador to Israel told Netanyahu that the weapons are in process of being sent. A spokesman for the Israeli government repeated that message.
Ammunition and weapons that the Prime Minister referred to are in the process of being delivered to Israel.
A delegation of U.S. Congress members met with Netanyahu and Israeli President Herzog yesterday. Herzog says such squabbles shouldn't be allowed to fray the crucial U.S.-Israeli alliance in a critical time.
We are fighting here the battle of the free world against the empire of evil. That's what we're doing, and together, that's why together we must stay together.
Meanwhile, U.S. efforts to head off an all-out war between Hezbollah and Israel aren't bearing fruit. Both Hezbollah and the Israeli Defense Forces are ramping up the rhetoric. Israel's defense minister warns the Jewish nation is going to put an end to near-daily Hezbollah attacks on northern Israel.
We have an obligation to change the situation in the north and return the citizens safely to their homes, and we will find a way to do this.
Hezbollah's leader says the Iranian-backed terrorist group will hold nothing back if Israel attacks.
If the war is imposed on Lebanon, the resistance will fight without control, without rules, and without a ceiling.
He also threatened to drag Cyprus into the war if that island nation lets Israel's military or civilian jets use its runways. Meanwhile, as Hezbollah's shelling of northern Israel increases, citizens still there are tired and afraid.
It's scary because you don't know when it is coming to you. Suddenly you have an alarm. Suddenly missiles fall.
It is unbearable. It can't be contained. It is impossible to live with it.
Many among the roughly 80,000 Israelis displaced by all the shelling have been hoping they could return home by September 1st, when school starts again. But Israel's chief military spokesman says that's not likely. Paul Strand, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, I hope the world is listening to Israeli President Herzog when he calls it an empire of evil, because that's what it is. We're looking at radical Islamic leaders, whether it's Hezbollah or Hamas or Iran or the Houthis in Yemen. They're all united by an ideology that is extreme. It's literally unimaginable for the average American, where someone would be so dedicated to killing Jews that they can't see any other way forward, that Israel has to be wiped off the map. And let me add to it, they view us in the same light. When they're talking, listen very carefully, because Israel is the little Satan, and you and I are the great Satan. So when they finish with Israel, they're absolutely going to expand out to say, where else can we go? To think that somehow the Al-Qaeda has gone away or ISIS has gone away, all it does is morph into new groups, and that is what we're seeing played out before us. I hope we wake up to it. I certainly hope our college campuses wake up to it, and all the protesters realize, what exactly are they for? Are they really for the subjugation of women, that if you don't wear your headscarf right, you're going to be beaten to death? Do you really want that kind of thing? When they talk about a male-dominated culture, it's absolutely Islam. And do you really want that? Is that something that you absolutely prefer? One thing that shouldn't escape your attention is when the leader of Hezbollah, Nasrallah, when he says he's going to bring in Cyprus to this war, please believe him. That means he wants to widen the conflict. What is happening in Cyprus is they used to be a British possession after World War II. The Brits put in military bases. It's not Cyprus doing it. It's the Brits, when they flew attack squadrons from Cyprus to take out Houthi rebels. It all was launched from Cyprus. So that's what he's talking about. He wants to avenge that attack, and he's going to bring Cyprus into it. We're on the brink of a regional conflict. This isn't going to be isolated in say, just southern Lebanon. If this thing goes off, and unfortunately I'm predicting it will, what will Iran do? What will Hezbollah do? If they bring Cyprus in, what will that mean? What will Turkey do? All of these things are in play. So now more than ever, please pray for Israel. Please pray for peace. My hope is people stand down and Hezbollah stops firing those rockets into Israel.